No. 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 How would you do this to me?
It's a simple question, Detective. Did you file this stolen motorcycle report?
Yes.
Despite knowing that the motorcycle in question had not been stolen?
Yes. I had to get the kid off the streets.
You later learned that Yannick Morin would be called as a witness against Charles Lapierre, is that right?
Yes.
You're a lifelong friend of Charles Lapierre. Yes or no, you're lifelong friends?
Yes.
You asked Detective Duroc to remove Maureen as a witness. Detective, we're not done.
Write whatever you want. I got a murder call.
The body went down here. There's blood spray on the wall.
These footprints. The killer was wearing something over his shoes.
Drag marks start here.
They estimate there are over 6 million skeletons stored in the catacombs.
See anyone you know?
My father brought me down here when I was 10, and it still freaks me out.
He made it this far and then left her here.
This part of the catacombs is close to the public, so it's an ideal place to leave her.
How did they get in?
Through the exit down there, somebody must have picked the lock. The victim has no ID, no purse, just what you see.
Pink froth in her mouth. She drowned in her own blood. Not a fun way to go. It's not a vampire bite or a knife, but it did puncture her windpipe.
Another footprint.
He pressed down on her chest until she choked.
Her top is on bottom. Let's turn her over.
Oh boy.
You know, there was a bunch of Satanists or something that were chased out of here like a month ago, and they used signs like that.
You look tense, Normal.
He's reliving a childhood memory.
You remember what it says at the entrance. Stop. Here begins the Empire of Death.
They got that right.
Turned out fine. The end. Well, wasn't that a funny book? Thank you all for being such good listeners.
Nice story. Parents of those kids know you're a blood-sucking Satanist?
Leave me alone. I paid the trespassing fine.
Have you been back down there?
No, and by the way, I was just into that Satan thing to meet chicks.
Would you ever meet this chick?
No. She doesn't look too good.
Well, she was found in the catacombs this morning near the entrance that you guys used. This mark was on her back. It's a sign of Lucifer.
If you say so. I put my tag all over those tunnels. Somebody just copied it. I swear I haven't been down there. There's other people been sneaking in.
Who?
I don't know. I was gonna take this girl down there Tuesday night for a little midnight ramble, but I saw someone coming out the entrance. I didn't get a good look, but they'd done something white in a trash can, like a sheet.
This hazmat suit was found in the trash collection on that street. We're lucky it was still the recycling center. One more day and bye-bye. Those booties, they could have made the footprints.
But a hazmat suit, I mean, I wonder what kind of hazard the killer was expecting.
Ready? Time of death was between 10 and 12 Tuesday night. There's evidence of sexual activity, that she's been penetrated, but no semen or condom residue. And then there's this, the beginnings of a callus on her labia. Something abraded her soft tissue over a period of a couple of weeks.
Her clothes? A knot tied in the crotch.
Curiouser and curiouser.
So she enjoyed pain.
Or somebody made her enjoy it. Maybe she was in a submissive relationship.
Everything about this woman's a little odd. Even the murder weapon. There are marks on her vertebrae characteristic of a pair of needle-nose pliers.
Stop following me. Tell him I don't need his protection.
Go around the block, come back in 5 minutes.
I can't stay long. I'm rescuing 3 underage girls from a brothel tonight. Freddie, coffee, please.
You and your nuns?
Yeah.
I'll go with you.
It's better if we go alone. They won't hurt us, and it's less likely they'll hurt the girls. But thanks.
I need a favor. I need you to talk to Adele. She won't take my calls. This narco cop filling her head with the stories.
I'm not a messenger, Joe.
I have someone watching her. I'm worried about her. My old friends might use her to get to me.
Oh, thanks. The Dance of Death. Death mocks the living. Is this for a case?
Yeah, it's from the cemetery of the Innocents. The cemetery is gone now. The bones were put in the catacombs.
Most of the bones are from people who died from the plague, aren't they?
How much do you know about the plague?
I know that half the people in Paris died from the plague. Churches made a fortune off the burials. Clergy fled the city. The only people who stayed behind were some Augustine nuns who holed up at the Hotel Dieu to tend to the sick.
You can always count on a nun.
I will give Adele your message.
Thank you.
You owe my wife a big apology.
You'll finish making that baby later.
What are we looking for?
Missing teeth, like this. The killer pulled out a tooth. That's why the killer dragged the body away, so we wouldn't notice.
What would they want with 500-year-old teeth?
You wonder why he was wearing a hazmat suit. The plague. These people die from it.
Well, I can't imagine that there's plague bacteria still in them, is there?
Only one way to find out.
The dental root canal is exactly where bacteria would accumulate. That's where I found the Yersinia pestis bacterium in the teeth that you brought me.
And is it still contagious?
No, Detective, the bacteria's been dead for 500 years.
So then why collect the teeth?
What about the DNA? Can you extract it from dead bacteria?
There's a microbiologist in Marseille who claims to have done it 10 years ago.
And if you had the DNA from the plague bacteria, can you make more bacteria?
In theory.
Enough to start an epidemic?
No doubt. The last time Yersinia pestis swept through Europe, it killed half the population. In its pneumonic form, when it's inhaled and infects the lungs, the mortality rate within 72 hours is 95%.
Why harvest it from old teeth?
getting your hands on live bacteria isn't so easy. But scraping old teeth and replicating it, you can do that with a minimum of equipment.
Until someone finds out, and you have to kill them.
A weaponized form of plague bacteria. Terrorism. Great.
I smell sex, not fanaticism. We have a victim in a submissive relationship, an improvised murder weapon, a satanic symbol to mislead us, a crime of passion between lovers.
We got a hit off the dental records. Miss Sylvie Ferrier, a mother reported missing yesterday. She's a microbiologist with a specialty in bacterial genetics.
Sylvie gave me a copy of her key. She was always losing hers. She was brilliant, but the little things in life were beyond her.
Does she have a boyfriend?
No. She said the men at her lab were either narcissists or shrinking violets.
She kept her apartment very clean.
She must have hired a housekeeper. It's not the way she usually kept it.
When did you last talk to her?
She used to call me almost every day, even when I visit my family in Chicago. But she stopped a few weeks ago. I don't know why. Excuse me.
Bleach. Sylvie's master made her use this to clean the place.
I don't get it. Why would a smart woman let a man just treat her like a doormat? Hey, wait, this is a report by Sylvie. It mentions plague bacteria. Look, there's a note. Please, Honey Bear, don't dismiss my theory. It's my gift to you, your ardent admirer. Sounds like hot times at the science lab.
Sylvie was arguing that DNA from dead bacteria like Yersinia pestis could be revived by introducing it to live bacteria. That's her desk. Controversial stuff.
So she was experimenting with plague DNA?
No, it's too dangerous. It'd be a violation of our university charter.
But replicating plague bacteria from dead cells, that's Nobel Prize territory, isn't it?
It would certainly be a coup, but I didn't see how it could be done.
You told her that?
Sylvie knew where I stood.
You rejected her gift. Honey Bear.
Where'd you get this?
In Sylvie's apartment. Honey Bear, that's you.
Something my wife called.
Your wife and Sylvie.
There was nothing between me and her. Sylvie knew her place. She just did her work. Now I have to go do mine.
Sounds like he likes women who know their place.
Santa Rosa. The lingerie store. Maybe a gift from the Honey Bear.
Right, Sylvie Ferrier. I remember this delivery to your laboratory. It was one of these. Careful, that's very expensive. Arbustiers use the finest materials, the most supple metal boning. It was bought 2 weeks ago, paid for in cash, no record of who bought it.
There's no name on the receipt?
Here we are. No name. But we had to exchange sizes from a size small to petite. It was sent from our warehouse to an address in Saint-Germain.
That's not Honey Bear's home address.
Maybe it's his sugar shack.
Oh, hi, sorry to disturb you. We're looking for Dr. Laurent Perrault.
Oh, I'm sorry, you've got the wrong apartment.
Maybe you know his colleague, Sylvie Ferrier?
Yes, I knew Sylvie. Are you investigating her death?
Yes. Can we come in, Miss?
Madeleine Haynes. I called her home and her mother told me what happened. I couldn't believe it. Please, come in. Take a seat.
Were you close friends?
Oh, well, I'd like to think we were. We met at a yoga class and we'd have dinner. What's this about a Dr. Perrault?
Some lingerie was sent here for Sylvie. We think it was a gift from him.
Oh, you mean the bustier? Oh, I gave that to her. Sylvie had bad luck with men, so I gave her a little gift to boost her confidence.
Did she ever talk about Dr. Perrault?
Well, she said that there was someone at work who had his eye on her. But with Sylvie, you never knew. You had to read the tea leaves. She was so reserved. Not like the girls back home.
Australia?
Please. New Zealand. No, I came here about 2 years ago to run an art gallery. Didn't work out, but I decided to stay. Sylvie was really my first real friend that I made here. Parisians can be so...
Stuck up.
I was going to say formal.
Formal and stuck up. What did the tea leaves tell you about Sylvie?
But she was enthralled with someone. The last few dinners we had, she'd get these texts and then she'd do something odd, like undo a button on her blouse or go to the ladies' room. When she came back, her face was all flushed. She wasn't wearing her stockings anymore.
Somebody was telling her what to do.
Poor Sylvie. She seemed so excited. I guess that bustier did the trick.
Go to the bathroom, take off your panties, and touch yourself, but I forbid you to complete. These messages were sent to Sylvie from this number.
That's not my phone. That's my phone.
People having affairs have been known to have second phones.
I wasn't having an affair with her.
Well, maybe you were after her work on plague bacteria.
No, wrong.
You were testing a theory without telling her. If it was successful, you'd claim credit for it.
You're
She
an
found out,
idiot.
and that is why you killed her.
That's enough, Bayard. I'm sorry. We got off on the wrong foot.
That's the understatement of the year.
Let's start by getting some facts down. Oh.
Let me.
Thank you.
Sure.
Excuse me for one moment. Any self-respecting male dom would have made me pick up that pen. There's no way he was Sylvie's master.
No, but it doesn't mean he didn't kill her.
No, she's right. No sex, no murder.
Send Dr. Perot home and start over.
Ixnay on Dr. Perro? I don't have anything to cheer you up. The fingerprints in Miss Ferry's apartment all belong to her. Forensics found this in her bedroom. It's from a pregnancy tester, but Angel said she wasn't pregnant, so...
But she thought she might be.
Okay, you can go now, but we'll be in touch.
Can't wait.
I can't pick up the phone. We'll leave a message.
You come any closer, I'll cut you.
No. Easy. I'm Bayard, your dad's partner. He doesn't know I'm here, but I just want to say you gotta talk to him. You gotta return his calls. I'm so sorry about what happened to your boyfriend. Your dad had nothing to do with it.
That's not what this other cop said.
But you can't listen to that.
You don't know my dad.
I know enough. And when I was a kid, somebody was killed on my street, and everybody's running around asking what happened, and this car pulls up, and a detective gets out. Everyone stops and just looks at him, because he knew what happened, and he knew all the secrets. And that's your dad, that guy. He knows. You know, just give him a chance, please. Adele, can I give you a lift?
No, I have my bike.
It was right in front of us. Sylvie wore a size small, but the bustier was exchanged for a smaller one, for a petite. It was meant to constrain her, to hurt her, like a knot in her panties.
Yeah, but that bustier was bought by that New Zealand woman, Madeleine.
She was Sylvie's dominatrix. Madeleine Haynes. No record of entry, no record of her passports.
No driver's license.
No visa.
No phone in her name, no credit card.
No bank account. She's a ghost. Mrs. Haynes, open up.
Where are my vases? Do you have my vases?
Mrs. Albert, please, come back here.
We're looking for Madeline Haynes. She's blonde, about 40.
The hospice volunteer? Ask at the hospice. She stopped working there a month ago, but they'll know how to find her. Mrs. Albert was very fond of her. Madeline read to her every day.
Mrs. Albert was at the hospice?
For the last 4 months. We just discharged her this morning. I'm helping her settle in.
I can't find my vases from Thailand.
We'll look for them later. She's been going on about some vases.
Did Mrs. Albert tell Madeline she could live here?
I can't imagine Mrs. Albert allowing it. This apartment's her castle.
The hospice says she gave your name as a reference.
I see. Madeline Haynes advises me on art from Thailand, a topic about which she's very knowledgeable. She even speaks Thai fluently.
That's nice. We can't seem to find her. You have a number for her?
Leave your card with my secretary. We'll get in touch with Miss Haynes.
That's not how it works, Mr. Pippa.
Mr. Deputy Minister. And that's how it works in this office. Now,
using you as a reference, that's very bold of Miss Haynes. You don't mind?
She's an honorable person.
Really? Her apartment in Saint-Germain, she was squatting there.
It belonged to an old lady she met in the hospice. We suspect she stole 2 antique vases from her.
Probably a misunderstanding. And I've never been to Miss Haynes' apartment.
Where did you spend the night last night? You didn't go home. You have a wrinkled shirt and suit hanging over there, and the dry cleaning bag in your trash. You changed clothes.
I worked late. I stayed in a hotel.
Was it Madeline's idea because she had to clear out of the apartment?
I resent your insinuations. I'm a married man.
Madeline Haynes is a murder suspect.
She killed her lover.
One of her lovers.
A microbiologist. We believe they were engaged in a dangerous experiment with plague bacteria.
The plague? Really? I've had enough of your stupidity. It's time you left.
We hear Madeleine likes to play dominatrix. Does she make you tie knots in your underwear?
Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, she gets around.
Like a snake.
Tying knots in his underwear. The man is practically a member of the cabinet. What were you thinking?
He's protecting a murderer.
Well, I don't give a damn. That is not how my detectives talk to a deputy minister.
His girlfriend might be running around with live plague bacteria.
Where's your evidence? Did you find any traces in her apartment?
No, but we're still searching.
The DG is about to pull this case away from this squad. I have never had a case taken away from me. Now get out there and put some meat on the plate. You stay. What in God's name are you doing? Everybody is gunning for your head and you keep screwing up. I told you, Joe, I'm not going to lose my job over you. Internal Affairs will make its recommendation to the DG next week. They want your badge. There'll be a full inquiry. They'll call everybody as witnesses. Me, Bayard, your daughter. I can't stop this train. I'm sorry.
Tom, I have that.
I'll just grab the file off Mike's desk.
No, absolutely. Been very helpful, thank you.
No problem.
Be in touch, thank you.
See you later.
What are you doing talking to my daughter, telling her lies about me?
I didn't tell her anything she didn't already know.
Stay away from her.
I've got a feeling I'll be seeing a lot more of her. Like they say, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. What are you doing? You son of a bitch! Bastard! Goddamn bastard!
Sinclair!
We have safe houses outside the city where she can stay, assuming she'll go. I don't think testifying at some board of inquiry is enough to scare her.
The people who killed Yannick are afraid of what you might say.
What does she know about his murder?
Nothing. Doesn't matter. They won't take the chance. So please, talk to her.
You can always count on a nun. Joe, stop. Stop.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. God will forgive you.
No. No.
God will forgive you.
I try to stand my ground, but my hands are bound from your tougher exterior.
I heard you've been asking after me. I love being wanted. Let's have some fun, Detective St. Clair. No distractions.
What makes you think I want to arrest you?
Or maybe you will. Cheers, then, to my arrest. You know, this whole time I've been in Paris, nobody's taken me for a proper tour. Well, I've been to the tippy top of the Eiffel Tower, I've been dragged through the Louvre. What a bore. But what I really want is to see the Paris that only someone who's grown up on his streets knows.
You got the wrong guy.
Oh, I think I have very much the right guy. My friend, the deputy minister, let me read your file. He also told me that you've been admonished against arresting people without evidence. You aren't afraid of me, are you, Jojo?
Okay, Madeleine, or whatever your name is. Let's have some fun.
Is that why you became a cop? So you could run red lights? Or is it because of your mother? I read in your file that she was killed by one of her boyfriends. Is that why? Little Joachim, he wanted to catch his mommy's killer. He felt so bad that he couldn't protect her.
You know why I became a cop? Because they get laid a lot.
My drink's wearing off. Let's get something a little stronger. The stuff that lifts you up and keeps you up.
On your best, on your best. With them or against them. You're a winner, they want it. You got me done. 2 numbers are better than 1, people. Take some of the late ones. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, good shooter. Coming out. Face.
For you.
For me?
Leave 100 for Luke.
I want you to dance with me. We've been hiding, baby. So do you still think I did all those terrible things to Sylvie?
I believe you're capable of anything.
Well, if I weren't, men wouldn't be attracted to me, would they? Here we are. You know you want to.
Come with me.
Who are they? What did they do? It's personal, isn't it?
The one in the car killed someone who meant a lot to my daughter. He broke her heart.
He broke your little girl's heart, and there's nothing you can do about it. You couldn't arrest him, could you? You don't have enough evidence. But you could kill him. Be a good daddy. Avenge your daughter's death. I won't tell.
You do it.
Then you'd have a reason to arrest me.
wanted to feel you, not leather. Not here. Let's go somewhere.
Your place?
My daughter's there. Your hotel. Wherever you're staying.
I don't think so, Joe. Maybe next time.
Your lipstick. I messed it up. Can I drop you somewhere?
I'll find my way. Good night. It was fun. I'm sorry we won't be seeing each other again.
What's that?
Just a little something I heard in a cafe. La 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 la.
Yeah.
Send this lipstick to the lab and get the DNA of it.
Whose is it?
Madeleine, or whatever her name is. Send this too. Her fingerprints are on the buckle. This woman, she uses sex to survive. By the way, she's pregnant. I'd say about 4 months.
Forensics found a living form of the Yersinia pestis bacteria in the apartment occupied by Madeleine Haynes. Now, they think that Sylvie was one step away from creating an active form of the pneumonic plague.
Assuming she hadn't already taken that last step before she was killed.
Yeah, or that Madeleine didn't. Maybe that's what this murder was about. Sylvie was just trying to prove her theory, whereas Madeleine had something nastier in mind.
Oh, Sylvie found out her lover was pregnant. She felt betrayed.
Yeah, that broken pregnancy tester, right?
It would have been nice if you'd asked your date instead of simply bringing her on a tour of Paris by night.
There was a hit on Miss Haynes' fingerprints. Interpol matched them to a Nicole Wallace, suspected of 9 murders in New York City and Australia. We're still waiting for the DNA results to confirm. Oh, and one small hitch. New York City police declared her dead in 2008.
She's suspected of killing her 3-year-old daughter in Australia. After that, she went to Thailand, where she was convicted along with an accomplice for robbing and murdering tourists. She served 8 years. She then went to New York City, killing lovers and husbands along the way, often with poison. And then now, Sylvie Ferrier here in Paris.
Nicole Wallace has changed her name and appearance many times over the years, but I'm sure you'll recognize her. Recognize the look in her eyes.
You can see the resemblance to Madeleine, but according to the New York police, this Wallace woman is dead.
Yeah, but that determination was made without the police ever actually finding a body.
Anyone she's ever killed was close to her. If you're not the target, someone close to you might be. Go ahead, answer it. We'll wait.
It's not important. And this, it just can't be true.
Why? Because you think you know her? Did you know she was pregnant?
I'm sorry, sir. Your car will be here at 6 to take you to the dinner at the Shangri-La.
Let me help you.
I have a busy afternoon. You can take all this nonsense away with you.
That incoming number you snagged off his phone belongs to a no-name cell phone that Pepin started calling 5 months ago. It's probably Madeleine. I mean, it's also linked to another phone that she was using to call Sylvie. She had one phone for Sylvie and one for Pepin.
She put her life in little boxes, like what this New York detective wrote.
Nicole Wallace was molested by her father from the age of 3. As an adult, she uses her sexuality to lure and destroy men and women. Sex is a means to an end.
So she does it for survival.
Wallace thinks she's more clever than the police. She inserts herself in the investigation. She plants evidence to frame innocent people.
So she forged Sylvie's writing on that report and planted it in the apartment to frame Sylvie's boss.
She mocks the investigator by mixing real clues with false ones.
She called a cooking school in the 8th and also an industrial supply store. Is probably where she got the hazmat suit.
You got it?
Oh. Oh, tell your father he's a genius. Norman's father is crazy about music. He recognized the tune Madeleine was humming, an old opera, La Marquise de Brinvilliers.
The opera is based on the life of Mary Marguerite d'Aubray, who in the 17th century conspired with her lover to poison her father and brothers and inherit their estates. So she killed her family so she could survive.
St. Clair. Tell her I'm coming right now. Tell her!
She came to work this morning. She was coughing. By noon, she had chills, a fever. An hour ago, she was coughing up blood.
Bad case of bronchitis. I'll schedule a chest x-ray.
Was there a woman with Australian accent who had contact with my daughter?
Actually, there was, last night. A tourist. Adele treated her for an upset stomach.
Goddamn her. You need to test my daughter right away for pneumonic plague.
The plague? Sir,
Yersinia pestis bacterium. That woman contaminated her with it. So please, test her and treat her. Oh, I swear to God.
Okay. Let's go up to infectious diseases unit. Stat.
Adele, it's gonna be okay. Daddy's here.
We got to her within 24 hours. They pumped her full of antibiotics. She's gonna be fine, Joe. That New York cop said this woman was smart. This is just vindictive, going after your daughter like that.
Maybe she wanted us out of the way. The dinner Pepin is going to. Who's gonna be there?
His office sent me over the guest list. It's about 20 people. Trade delegation from South Korea and their spouses, Deputy Minister Pepin, his wife, his daughter, and his son.
His family, that's it. Madeleine is pregnant with his child. She wants Pepin all to herself. She's going to get rid of the competition.
Just like the Marquise de Brinvilliers.
Detective! Detective! I don't care what your badge says. You're out of your jurisdiction.
The Deputy Minister's family is in danger.
You're not getting in there, sir.
You said she called the cooking school.
You have to breathe in the bacteria to get sick, and cooking will kill it.
You have to leave now.
Did you make these?
No, the pastry chef, he went home. I mean, he creates, but I do the hard work.
They 20 guests, but only 19 desserts.
Well, one of the guests is diabetic, sir.
Who is a diabetic?
I am. What the hell are you doing here?
Put that down right now. Don't breathe. Move away. Away. Bacteria in the powdered sugar. They breathe it in when they eat it. Everyone, except Mr. Pepin.
Never mind what he says. You go on with your work.
Go ahead. Serve it to your family. Sacrifice them for your pride.
Fine. Why take a chance?
Okay, everybody out, and I want all the staff taken into custody now.
Everyone's been given antibiotics as a precaution. The on-site test determined an unknown substance was mixed into the powdered sugar, and if that was Yersinia pestis, the guests would have inhaled it and they would have been dead within 24 hours.
The pastry chef was found at home, stabbed with a knife, more times than they could count.
She used him to poison the sugar and then killed him.
You believe it now, Deputy Minister? Call her. Tell her your wife and kids are sick. You need to see her. Now.
thing I forgot to do last night.
How exciting.
We know who you are, Miss Wallace. We've traced your exploits from Australia to Thailand to America. We've seen the trail of bodies you've left behind you, but the game ends here.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm Madeleine Haynes from New Zealand. I haven't killed anyone. You should have warned me this was the price of refusing to go to a hotel with you.
Your choice is simple. Confess or die.
Die. I may be wrong, but France has abolished the death penalty.
The United States hasn't. Not for killing an American citizen in a foreign country.
Sylvie's mother was American. Sylvie had dual French and American citizenship.
You're lying. Sylvie would have told me.
Maybe she was too busy scraping the floor and licking your boots.
If you confess, you'll serve your sentence here. If you don't confess, you'll be treated as an illegal alien who entered the country under false pretenses. You'll be sent back to the last country you were in, the United States.
They'll arrest you, try you, and execute you.
You'd enjoy that, wouldn't you?
You have no idea.
And I thought I'd found a kindred soul. Well, before I say anything more that I might regret, I want to speak to a lawyer. I have a name of one in my wallet. Would you call him for me, please? Thank you. It happened once before at the airport. Me being mistaken for this Nicole Wallace. Apparently she resembles me, but the mistake was cleared up when they found out that she was dead.
Very clever. Faking your own death.
Someone told me that Nicole's last words were to a detective in New York. Tell him that he's the only man I ever loved. Well, whoever came up with that must write for a greeting card company, because if I had faked my own death, well, anyone who knows me knows that I don't indulge in such hackneyed sentiments.
Right. Even capable of love.
Like you, maybe. Isn't that your greatest fear, Joe?
It's everyone's greatest fear.
You worry that you don't really love your daughter, that it's just guilt and shame and selfish need.
Don't talk about my daughter. The only reason you're still alive is because she didn't die from your poison. Having a baby with Pépin, making a home with him. It was your last chance at happiness. You were willing to do anything to kill anyone. I understand.
I'm glad that your daughter's alive, Joe. I had a little girl once. A sparkling little girl, but someone took her away from me.
Yeah, it's a wire transfer into the pastry chef's account from a bank that's a front for the North Korean government. Madeleine must have set it up so that the poisoning would look like the work of the North Koreans.
I just heard from New York. Miss Haynes' DNA doesn't match the DNA on the data banks for Nicole Wallace. Oh, and somebody must have leaked the results to the Foreign Ministry because Deputy Minister Pépin is on his way up here with a squadron of lawyers.
Is something the matter, Jojo?
We have wasted enough time. You're going to tell us how you killed Sylvie Ferrier and how you tried to kill my daughter.
I need to see a lawyer first.
You don't have the right. Start talking or we'll give it to the Americans.
Stop
They
hurting
put a
me.
needle on your arm. You feel your veins burn. Sit down.
Detective, that's enough.
Madeleine, I'm so sorry. That was a mistaken identification. And as it turns out, it seems that the target of the poisoning attempt was our South Korean guests. You can leave now. My lawyers will deal with everything. Hey, let her go. Are you all right, Madeleine?
Never better.
Four years ago, the New York police matched a heart that was sent to them in the mail with Nicole Wallace's DNA in their data bank.
It can't be her heart. Someone must have tampered with the data bank.
Then again, a heart is the one organ that woman doesn't need.
Daddy.